All right, folks, we'll see how well this works. I was on earlier, tested my stream speed, and it was extremely good. And I just wondered if it was going to continue. I already see that I didn't do much, but it's already making a difference, and the stream isn't quite as good as what it was. So, uh, hey, 350. It's early in the morning for me. I didn't have no beers yet. I'm still on my coffee. And I'm really sorry about your neighbor's house. That sucks, man. But I'm sort of going to be monitoring the chat, and I'm sort of not because I actually am going to do some work here. Really, it's nothing. I'm just going to be servicing this my Kubota BX24. Basically, it's just greasing and stuff. I get to show off my fancy schmancy grease gun that I have. So that's just what I'm going to work on now. Clint, I think I seen you in there already. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna do some of the live streams. Maybe I'll get back into doing some of the videos and stuff. We'll see. Time will tell. But like I said, this was for more of an experiment. So, and like I said, I'm gonna be popping in and out sort of because I want to. This is a test also to check my live stream and my capabilities of doing the live stream and having it hold up and be decent. Ah, Ireland. Cool. Glad to see you. I mean, I've seen you before, but I didn't know that's actually where you were from. I had someone from Australia, and I forget where 350's from. He's from somewhere around there, but how is the stream? I'm watching it here, and I'm just wondering how well it's coming in. It says it's been affected a little bit. I was just wondering how well it's actually coming in. How well you guys are seeing and hearing stuff. It sounded okay to me, but any input would be great. My main thing is earlier I know someone said that the video was like fuzzy. I'm not too concerned about that because I won't be doing any like pinpoint stuff that you have to really see. But I'm more concerned that you're not seeing lagging and buffering and so on and so forth. That's sort of what I'm looking for here. All right, looks good, sounds good, great. All right, 350. I thought that's where you were from, but I wasn't too sure. So, this is my Kubota BX24. I bought this thing in. I'll give you a little background. I'll bore you a little bit. I bought this in '07, so it's 10 years old. I shouldn't say this. It still has the original battery in it. This thing sets out in the cold most of the time, inside a pole barn, but in the cold most of the time. And I'm not trying to be a salesman for these, but this is one of the best pieces of equipment I've ever owned for starting, running, and just working when I want it to work. I use it for mowing. I have a place that has a larger lawn, so I use it on that. I use it for the stuff. I was very glad to have this out at my rental because I used this when we had 30 inches of snow out there this winter when we had the big snow, and I used this to clean most of it. It worked. It worked great. It was so nice to be able to move the snow. I have a snow plow for my Chevy truck, and it was so deep. And I don't care. You know, people were busting me because it was a Chevy, and it's like it didn't matter. Any vehicle, no matter what make, with the plows, were getting stuck. If you had to do a straightforward push, it would eventually hang up if you couldn't throw the snow to the side. It would just get under the undercarriage and underneath the plow, and you'd be hung up. And there was a lot of people, whether they admit it or not, that got stuck for that reason. I was very happy to have this. It took time, but it cleaned everything out. It worked well. It didn't get stuck. It gets serviced once in a great while. I'm just going to grease it now. I did the oil change and stuff last season. It's probably due for another one, even though it doesn't get many hours on it. But it works great. It's a good little tractor. That's okay with my head being out of frame. You don't really need to see my head, do you? The tractor's the star of this. It's the one that's getting the lube job. So I can move the camera up a little bit. That's fine. But is that a little bit better? Yeah, I don't need any advertisements on here. I mean, if you're going to come in and you're going to do advertisements, don't do it. I'm going to get rid of you. Just don't do it. Um, like I said, I'm not trying to advertise for my Kubota. I'm just saying what it is and that I like it. Don't come in there trying to do ads and stuff because you're going to be gone. See, I told you wouldn't want the camera up where you could see the face. So it's what can I say? It is what it is. Oh, it's no problem. With the ads, I don't need some guy in there advertising stuff. That's no. If I see it now, I may miss it because I'm gonna be doing some other stuff, and they may get in there. I gave him a timeout. If he comes back in and does it again, he's booted. That's all there is to it. He's gone. So now, since we don't want to see ads and we don't want to see commercials, and I've already been through that, I'm gonna hawk the grease gun that I have. Now I'm not gonna hawk it. I'm just gonna tell you what I have. And the interesting thing about this tool is I never would have bought it just to buy it. Or I mean, just I would have never bought the grease gun that's battery operated because I thought I needed a battery operated grease gun. The reason I bought it was because it was in a package deal with some other Milwaukee stuff that I bought and I got it. And I'll tell you what, it's awesome. The thing just works. It works great. And it just makes the job quicker. At work, I had the old barrel type with the grease head that sat in it, and you'd have to drag it around in the wheels and stuff, and hook the air hose up to it, and you're tripping over it and all that. It does the job. There's no doubt about it. But to grab this thing and just start using it's nice to have. It really is. And with saying that, I said it's not something I would have went out and bought, but now that I know what it would how well it works, I probably would buy one. Because I still have stuff to grease. Your modern cars, there's not many grease zerks on them anymore. But something like this, thankfully, has grease zerks all over. So And if you wonder why I'm going over to the seat on the tractor every once in a while, that's because I'm actually looking at the stream and stuff like that. But anyhow, that's the end of the ad, and I'll show it to you here. And because, as most of you know, greasing is just a dirty, greasy job. Get grease all over. I don't know. I guess some guys can do it better, but I usually get grease from head to toe when I'm doing it. And what's nice about this, I can't see if it's in the shot. Well, I'll just explain it. What's nice about this is it has a light on it. You know, it can help you if you're in the dark spot. One of the things I really like about it, if you know approximately how many squirts or pumps you want to put in, you actually have a setting here, you know, from 1 to, you know, in 1 to 50, or you can set this to just on, and it'll continue to pump until you leave your finger off the trigger. So, and of course it has a trigger lock, which most stuff I don't like that on, but I do like it on this because you can make a mess if you're doing it. So, but I'm just gonna set this to on because I like to really put the grease to it. But I know this is exciting watching me grease this, but like I said, this is a test of the streaming and maybe some of the stuff that I can do that's more exciting in the future. Yeah, Sam, that's true. And at work, I have, you know, we have older equipment. Some of the older trucks that they run and stuff, you know, they have, I mean, they have grease zerks on the springs. They have it all over. And literally, like you said, there's probably 50 grease zerks on that thing, and just pumping and pumping and pumping. That's just, you know. And the other thing is, I'm getting to be older, and it's not as easy, and it's not as much fun as it once was with getting under and greasing and doing all that pumping and stuff. Because then I'm at home and I'm taking the Tylenol because, you know, I overdid it and my shoulders hurt. And, you know, as you get older, you'll understand this stuff, but it works on me more than what it used to. I'll just put it to you that way. Oh, and over there, I have one of the Blue Point air grease guns that runs by air with cartridge. This thing by all means beats that air one hands down. That thing just never seemed to work right. It wouldn't put the grease in like you think it should. This baby just it just puts it in there, you know. And as I said, I'm not trying to sound like my and I'm just saying how nice it is because my friend at work, he comes in to fix forklifts and do some work on the forklifts, and he has a DeWalt one, and he's the one that told me about it. And you know, so I'm not. It's not the brand. He loves his, and it just so happens that I bought other Milwaukee stuff, so that's why I got a Milwaukee. But he loves his too. He just says there's no way he'd do without it anymore. And the fork trucks are another thing. You know, they want to keep those lubed up and working, so they have quite a few zerks on them too. Man, I love this thing. I mean, is there it is it, I hated greasing things, and now it's almost like it's sort of fun doing it because you can grab this grease gun and go do it. Does that make any sense? You know, it's something that I used to hate doing, and same way I don't like painting, but I got one of the paint sticks that you can fill and roll it with a roller. That makes life easier. Not that I still want to paint, but at least I don't dread it as much as I did. It's, you know, it's just sort of like this with doing the greasing. I got one that's stubborn. Grease don't want to go in. Hey, Doug, good to see you in there. I'm checking in back and forth. And Plum Bob, I don't know if I said hi, but yeah, it's yeah, Plum Bob, I saw you before. I apologize. I didn't say hi. I'm trying to get back to see what everybody's saying and at least say hi. And I'm glad you all stopped in. You know, like I said, this is just a test. I haven't been doing much with my YouTube channel. I like the live streaming, so we'll see how it goes and what happens. Now I actually did the mower part earlier because I had to do some mowing, so and the thing I like about this gun, you know, I could bring you over and show you, but I had a Zerk that was being nasty and wasn't letting grease go in. But if you get on it square and you hold this on and you pump this thing, it'll usually blow right through old shitty grease pretty quickly. That's, you know, hardened and stuff like that. It'll go right through it. So it's pretty neat. Um, it's a little it's a little of both. It's you know, in my area, being from the coal region with Lithuanian and Polish background, it's not the proper term for it, but I just call it my babushka. I have my babushka on. My Grammy used to wear a babushka, which basically is I don't know, the ladies here used to wear them. That it was just sort of like a colorful scarf hanky that they take and put over their hair, especially after Grammy had her perm and stuff like that. You know, she'd put her babushka on. So when somebody asks me, I just say it's a babushka. With the beard, could it be a turban? Possibly. I don't know. Take your pick. I'm good with any of it. All right. As we continue with the exciting job of greasing the BX24 Kubota. Got another one that's being stubborn. I hate when that happens. Get out of here, Keith. Stop that. Don't be doing that stuff. Now all that means is when I see you, I'll have to pay you back and buy you a beer. Which I'm okay with that. I'd do that either way. I'm not sure if that one's getting greased or not. They got them recessed in, and it's just hard to tell. I actually thought on that one I might be out of grease, but I'm not. Are you guys counting every time I go to another grease zerk and grease it, so you can give me a count of how many's actually on this thing? And you know, this also I've ran into it where sometimes grease zerks just don't seem accessible. With this, they seem highly accessible. They got them turned so you can actually get to them and do something with them. Oh yeah, there's at least 11 of them. Yeah, with that funeral, yeah, here in Pennsylvania, we no longer have a helmet law. It's probably, I forget how many years it is that since they repealed it, but it's been quite a few. And actually, that's the reason I have this style babushka, because number one, I'm hiding my bald head by putting it on. But the other thing is, for riding, this is this is actually a bicycle one, and the neat thing about it is it has elastic in it. So when you tighten it up, it doesn't blow off like a regular hanky or something like that, you know. And I mean, I always thought about sewing a Harley emblem on it to make it look like official. But that's the main reason I have these, is for riding, because they don't come off like a regular bandana or hanky or what I've tried to wear before. Usually I'd have to go back and find them along the road somewhere. Uh, Actually, does the gun tell you when it's out of grease? No, not that I've found. But to me, it seems to make a different sound, a more hollow sound when it's not pumping anymore. All I do is if I think it may be out of grease, I just get a rag and take it and just blow a couple wads in it from the grease gun, and uh, he said wad, blow a couple in it from the grease gun just to see if it's still pumping, and keep going or change out the cartridge. And that's another thing with any grease gun that I've had, even that air one. To try the air operated one that I mentioned from Blue Point, even just to try and get the air bubbles out of it when you put a new cartridge in, was always a pain in the ass. Where with this, it has the little button, which is really nice. You slap a new cartridge in, you hit that button to leave the air out. I have never had, like I said, I hate selling a commercial, but it's just true. I have never had a grease gun that you could put another cartridge in and bleed it off so easily and just go. It's great. But okay, B&L, thanks a lot for stopping in. It was great to see you. Like I said, nothing exciting going on. Just messing around on a Saturday morning. Uh-oh, another stubborn one. I hate them stubborn ones. I can't hold enough pressure on it to keep it up against. doing it. That one just ain't gonna blow loose. I have to pull that one off at some point to get grease in it, I'm afraid. Greasy, greasy, greasy. Gotta make sure my jogging pants aren't falling down when I'm turning my back to you guys, and I don't want you to see that there plumber's crack. I'm trying to be. I got them tightened up, but gut just keeps pushing them down. Hey Byron, good to see you. Hey plow guys, good to see you. Yeah, that's right. Leave it a little loose to get the air out, and then forget about it. Forget about it. Then you're gonna have a nice mess. But there you go. Grease your bike. That's you only have 5 zerks. That's cool. But yeah. Alrighty, I'm gonna head to the back here and do those. Careful, I'm gonna move you. Don't get seasick. I was facing the camera. See, that's what I was doing. I don't wait to see that. But anyhow, guys don't want to. You got to be joking. Why would you want to see? You already told me, John. You want to see Helga, not me. I know. So what's the diff? Yeah, they're good. They're good little tractors, no doubt. But all right, I'm gonna be around the back here, just greasing some zerks and staying live for a while. Now I'm back on the backhoe part, which it has many zerks. Lots of zerks back here. Lots and lots and lots. I love this gun, in case I didn't mention it. My God, this makes work easier. John, I hope you're behaving because I'm not monitoring your comments. Okay. Actually, like I said, I did the mower the other day, so actually, I think that's most of them. Yeah. Now, and have you guys ever seen? I already screwed it up, but you know, I don't know if you guys, any of you do any EMT work, but you know, they always tell you how to take these gloves off, and I don't know if you can see it, but you always want to grab them here, and you do that like that, then you pull this one back, then you go inside of it, and you do that, then you're in the inside of the glove, and that way you don't get any bacteria or viruses or smudge on your hands. Smudge being grease in this instance. All right, so that's the greasing. Oh, no kidding. Well, I'll have to check those. Uh, Helga's sleeping. She's on night shift, and she has some other family stuff going on, so she's a tired girl at the moment. And as far as that being a cordless grease gun, yes, it's a battery grease gun. And I've said to people, if you have stuff to grease, you know, I said this earlier, but I wouldn't have bought one just to buy it. It sort of came in the kit when I bought my Milwaukee tools, and since I've used it, there is no doubt whatsoever that I would certainly, knowing what I know now, I would go out and buy one for the amount of stuff that, even though it's not a lot, it is just so much nicer. I get so much less grease on me. When I did it with the old manual grease gun, I mean, I'd have grease all over me and all that. So it makes life a lot easier. And it doesn't matter to me, like I said earlier too. It doesn't matter to me what brand. It's just either one of them work. It's great. So, or any type works. I've seen the Daywalt work. Daywalt works the same way. The DeWalt. I don't want to say Daywalt because when I say Daywalt, then people say to me, Daywalt? Yeah, that's just the way we say it around here. You know, it's DeWalt. I know. I think something like that. Anyhow. See you, Plum Bob. Thanks for stopping in. If it was, yeah, if it was shining here, I think I'd be doing that if the sun was shining. Well, John, I guess you could say, you know, that it got a lube job, good, bad, or indifferent. So, all right. Well, that's pretty much what I wanted to do. It looks like is the live stream holding up relatively well. Like I said, the fuzziness I can live with, but no buffering issues or anything like that. Is that it appears to be to me. I agree 350, but the thing is, it's like with my toolbox when I did it, and I did it on purpose. I stressed the day wall. People are like, day wall? And it's like, well, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same. It's Black and Decker, and you know, it is what it is. Okay, thank you on that with the live stream. I hope it continues. I don't know if you were in here, but I had said it earlier. I couldn't get it to stream. I tried some different things, and it seems that I have the bandwidth now. So I'm hoping it holds up that I can do a couple more live streams or do one here and there anyhow. Like I said, this was more of a test than anything. It's nothing spectacular, but you know, it was something on a Saturday morning, and if people were really bored, they could stop in and see it. But for you 350, I know it's not morning for you, it's late night. So, but thanks for stopping in, everybody. So, John, what was the? I watched your one video there with your big snow, but what was your biggest your biggest snowfall this year in inches? Because that centimeter stuff, I'm an American. I don't get that crap. That's I'd have to convert and all that. But what's the most inches of snow you had in one snowfall there? Okay, Sam, thanks for stopping in. Have a wonderful day. Good luck with the board job. Hey, thanks for the conversion. Because I just told you not to do that, and you had to go do it. I'm glad you converted it. So only 12 inches. The one that we had this year, and maybe you know that from like Helga's video though, was 30 inches, and that was terrible. I just plowing it. If you were plowing straight ahead, you just couldn't. If you couldn't take it off to the side and stuff. And honestly, when I was plowing it and I was getting hung up, I was thinking, I'd really love to have the plow guys here to show me how they would handle this 30-inch snow, especially on my, like my quarter-mile lane when I started and I pushed about, I don't know, it didn't seem very far, and it piled up in front of me because I couldn't push it to either side, and I was done. I mean, I got hung up on it and stuck. It was awful. It was just awful. And where was that you got the quarter inch? Aren't you Georgia or somewhere like that? I forget. I mean, I know you guys say, but mine's a terrible thing to waste, and mine's just wasting away, unfortunately. Oh shit! If I would have known that, but you would have had to come before the snowfall to be able to be stuck here to plow the snowfall, because I don't know if you'd have made it here, because you almost would have had to plow all the way. Like I said, it's been a long time since the last time we had a snow that was close to that, I didn't even have a plow. So I mean, I wasn't even trying to plow. But this is definitely by far, that 30-inch snow was the worst snow that I've encountered to try and plow and move. Even what they were getting around with was four-wheel drive tractors with buckets on to clean roads and stuff. And when they did that, it was snowing. It was snowing so quickly that they'd have to make just one pass through was the best they could do and move on to the next spot. They couldn't, they just made it wide enough for one car or truck. So even if you were going through and you met somebody, you were screwed. I mean, it was ridiculous. It really was. Oh wow, West Virginia, that's all you had. I thought you guys usually got more snow than that. That's interesting. All right, let me since I'm done with this and I'm just wasting time, let me swing the camera down and I'll set my favorite stool over here, and I'll chat a little more. Boy, I'm glad that's done. And I'm glad that I had my nice little tool there to help get it done. So what else? I got all kinds of projects to do and all kinds of stuff to do. And here's one thing I got to do. Put the springs and everything in my emergency brakes on my 2002 Chevy truck. They're the ones that are inside the rotor. And I actually took it apart to put the brake shoes on, new brake shoes, because they were all full of grease from the rear seals leaking. And when I got in there, I hadn't really looked at them. A little hint or a tip: if you ever go to do something like that, just buy the new hardware. I mean, especially here in the Northeast where we're at, everything was rusted and falling apart. I put it back, together because I didn't have the new kit and I needed it back together because the snow was coming. So, yeah, just buy the new stuff and put it in, because now I got to rip it back apart and put it back in. And it can be, if you don't want to rip everything apart, it can really be a pain to get them in there. I got them in, but you had to stretch a couple springs and do a couple things that maybe you shouldn't have, but they work. So, all right, well, the excitement of greasing the tractor is over. So I guess I will actually stop streaming now and find another project to move on to. Thanks everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully I can do some live streams in the future if things continue to work. I like doing it from my garage. That's why I made an effort to try and get it working so that I can do it from my garage. But we'll see how it holds up and what continues. You guys have a real good Saturday or whatever day it may be, wherever you're at. And this is Mike, the disgruntled mechanic. Just remember, if you can get somebody else to do it, you're probably better off. Thanks everybody for watching and chatting. See ya.